Hello guys, welcome back to Chase Talks Politics. Today is July 21st, Tuesday, 2020. And in today's video, we are going to be looking at Joe Biden's potential vice presidential picks. And I'm actually going to be making this a series. So, in these next week or two, we are going to be looking at potential vice presidents, who Joe Biden could select and who he's limiting down to, and his decision is expected next Saturday, August 1st. I'll be going live on that date in hopes that he does select his vice president that date, in 10 days from now. So hopefully he will on that date. But we're going to turn this into a series called Joe Biden's VP Search, where I look at possible VP candidates. So, yesterday Joe Biden announced that part of his potential vice presidents are 4 black women, and he listed those. So those are Kamala Harris, Susan Rice, Val Demings, and Karen Bass. So we're just going to be reading 2 articles today, and I'll kind of give you my thoughts. And before we get into this video, if you saw my video earlier that I deleted, that was because the audio wasn't very good on that, so I'm going to try and figure out what happened there. But I'm gonna try and re-upload it tonight. If it gets better, if I can fix it, then I will re-upload the video tonight or tomorrow. But I know you guys didn't want that audio, and you guys don't deserve that audio. So that's why I deleted that video, but I'm going to re-upload it later today. So let's go ahead and get into this video. So here are Joe Biden's potential VP picks. Like I said, we have Kamala Harris, Susan Rice, Val Demings, and Karen Bass. Karen Bass has really not been in the discussion a lot, but she is listed as one of the 4 black women who could potentially be his VP pick. Now, he didn't say necessarily African American, he just said black. So yeah. But it's not, okay, let me just be clear. He's not only considering African American or black women, he is considering including those 4 black women. But another potential vice presidential pick that hasn't been talked about until recently, that she could very well be the pick. I personally think it's going to be Kamala Harris or Val Demings. I think Kamala Harris. But I think it could also be Tammy Duckworth. I think she's rising. I don't think it will be her, but I think she should definitely be considered by Joe Biden and his campaign. So we're going to read this article by Wave. Tammy Duckworth's stock rises as a possible VP choice after a high-profile few weeks. In combat and in Congress, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth has seen a lot of firsts. She was the first female soldier to lose both her legs in the Iraq War. She was the first Thai woman elected to Congress, and she was the first U.S. senator to give birth while in office. Now she may become the first Asian American woman nominated to be vice president for a major party in the United States, but she remains diplomatic when asked about the pressure Joe Biden is facing to pick an African American woman. I think that even choosing a woman is a powerful signal that Joe Biden has made, Duckworth told NPR's All Things Considered earlier this month. As Biden, the presumptive Democratic nominee for president, nears the announcement of his running mate, Duckworth's political stock has risen. A feud in a military hold. This month, the 52-year-old engaged in a public feud with Fox News Channel host Tucker Carlson, who took issue with her criticism of President Trump and her openness to removing certain statues. When asked to appear on his program to respond, Duckworth declined. Carlson said, "Duckworth is too afraid to defend her own comments on a cable news show. What a coward," he said on his show. Duckworth responded on Twitter saying Carlson should walk a mile in her prosthetic legs before questioning her patriotism. She made a longer version of her argument in a New York Times opinion piece. "I think he made a serious mistake, and Tammy made him remember it," Senator Dick Durbin, a fellow Illinois Democrat and Duckworth mentor, said of Carlson. This came after Duckworth's high-profile efforts to block promotions for more than 1,100 senior armed forces personnel over concerns that Army Colonel Alexander Vindman, a witness in the impeachment of Trump, was facing retaliation. A few days earlier, Duckworth, who has dubbed Trump Kate Bone Spurs for his past military deferments, went after the president and his officials following reports that Russian bounties were offered for the lives of U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Joe Walsh, a Republican who lost to Duckworth in 2012 when she first won an Illinois U.S. House seat, said his former political opponent has evolved since their race. She won her Senate seat 4 years later. Since she's came to the Senate, she's developed more of a gravitas, and you really seen that play out in the last month or so, said Walsh, a Trump nemesis who has a short-lived run for the 2020 Republican presidential nomination and is now voting for Biden. She's become a leading defender. She's become the Senate attack dog, rightly attacking Trump for not doing a thing. Pardon my language about these Russian bounties. Duckworth has backed off her fight for Vindman 2 weeks after announcing plans to block the promotions. She said she was reassured by the Pentagon that Vindman, who is now retiring from the military, was slated for promotion after all. So Tammy Duckworth is definitely rising, and she could very well be the VP pick. Personally, I don't think it will be her, but I think that she is rising. And remember, Biden has not committed to picking an African-American woman, so he does not have to. I mean, it's already powerful enough, as she said, Tammy Duckworth, that he is picking a woman. But right now, for me, I think it's between Kamala Harris and Val Demings and Susan Rice. But I personally think that it's going to be Kamala Harris. So now we're going to read this article from CNN about Joe Biden's potential VP picks. So Joe Biden breaks down where he is at right now, and we're going to read where he is at. We're nearing very close to when he will likely make his decision. On who will be his VP. So yeah, let me just pull up the article here. So, Joe Biden says he is considering 4 black women to be his running mate by Kate Sullivan and Sarah Mucha from CNN. This article was written today. Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden said Monday he was considering 4 black women to be his running mate and has been receiving extensive vetting briefings about each potential candidate. I am not committed to naming any of the potential candidates, but the people I've named, and among them are 4 black women, Biden told MSNBC's Joy Reid on her new show, The Reid Out. He said he is getting a 2-hour vetting report on each of his potential picks and that he and his team have gone through about 4 candidates so far. Then when I get all the vetting done of all the candidates, then I'm going to narrow the list and then we'll see. And then I'm going to have personal discussions with each of the candidates who are left and make a decision, Biden said. Biden is considering a broad tier of candidates to be his running mate after pledging earlier this year to pick a woman for the job. CNN previously reported that Senator Kamala Harris of California, Rep. Val Demings of Florida, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, former Obama administrative National Security Advisor Susan Rice, and Rep. Karen Bass of California are among the black women being considered. The debate within the Democratic Party over representation on the presidential ticket has sharpened over the past few months, and after more than a month of anti-racist protests across the country, some outside groups have urged Biden to pick a black woman. The death of George Floyd in Minnesota, Breonna Taylor in Kentucky, and others have sparked protests and discussion about systematic racism in the U.S. and police brutality. Biden has said he will name his vice presidential pick in early August before the Democratic National Convention, which will take place August 17th through the 20th. Countless factors will go into Biden's pick, but he has said he is looking for someone who is ready to be president at a moment's notice and someone who with him is simpatico, suggesting his personal relationship with his future partner will be key. He also said that his vice president does not need to have foreign policy experience because that is his strength. But that almost all the women he is considering for the position have some exposure to foreign policy and national defense issues. Biden, who went through extensive vetting when he was chosen to be Barack Obama's vice president, described the process to MSNBC. It takes about 6 weeks and you go into everything. It's like having a public physical examination. So, I'm hoping the pick will be by August 1st so that I can do my live that day, but I'm not sure that it's going to be that quick. But for me, the top 3 contenders right now are Kamala Harris, Susan Rice, and Val Demings. I personally think that it's between Demings and Kamala Harris, but a lot of people, Susan Rice is going up. She could potentially be the pick. Tammy Duckworth is definitely going up as well to be the potential pick. So yeah, I think that it will be Kamala Harris, though, or Val Demings, but I personally think Kamala Harris. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching episode 1 of Biden's vice presidential search. I'm going to start for this series, however long it is, whether it's probably only 2 weeks or if it's 3 or 4 weeks. for how the decision, I'm sure, will be made before the convention. So the decision at the latest probably August 16th. But yeah, comment. I'm going to go through each potential vice presidential pick, and we'll look at their background. We'll look at why they're qualified, why they may not be qualified, things like that. So comment who you want next. Do you want Kamala Harris, Karen Bass, Tammy Duckworth, Elizabeth Warren, Susan Rice, Val Demings? Who do you want next? So thank you guys for watching. My next video is probably, I'm going to try and re-upload that video that didn't have as good audio today. Try and fix that, and it should be up in a little bit, if not tomorrow. If not today, then it'll be uploaded tomorrow. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you whenever that video comes out.